Hello, Avatar fans. Today I will be coming back for a new video, and I will be ranking every episode in Avatar: The Last Airbender on Tier List Maker. So let's start with Book 1, Episode 1, The Boy in the Iceberg. A tier. I think it really got the story started and really got us introduced into new characters, and I think it did a good job for a first episode. Book 1, Episode 2, The Avatar Returns. Pretty average episode, but average Avatar episode, the average quality of the Avatar episode is higher than the average quality of just an average episode in general. An average Avatar episode is probably more a 7 out of 10 rather than a 5 out of 10. So this being C tier, even though C tier would really be a B tier if you're talking about most other shows, because Avatar is just that good. Book 1, Episode 3, The Southern Air Temple. I think this one's A tier. I really like how it dealt with Aang losing his losing all the people he loved with Gyatso and all the air nomads just being gone. It's just hits for me well. Book 1, Episode 4, The Warriors of Kyoshi. I'm honestly a big Kyoshi fan. I think the episode was pretty good. Whole Sokka arc was really nice. I'm gonna put this in A tier also. Then we have The King over Mashu. This one felt a bit childish, to be honest. Wasn't that serious, and I know it's kind of cool. Bumi's still there. He's 112, but in peak shape. Honestly, it was a bit childish. I'm gonna say C tier. And just so you know, the order that these are ranked in does actually matter. So, this order, The Avatar Returns, I rank above The King of Amashu. Imprisoned. A lot of people really like this arc. I honestly think it's pretty average. Katara does an inspiring speech. Does that a lot. Put it there. Spirit World. Yeah, with Heibai. They call it the Spirit World, but it's not the Spirit World. It's just spiritual projection, we're seeing in Legend of Korra. They're not actually in the spirit world. It's we've seen the spirit world. It's not the same as the physical world. So that's kind of weird. But I like the whole plot with Heibai. It was nice. I'm gonna say B tier. Oh, Avatar Roku. I really like this episode. Because when Roku explodes and freeze the deals with all the fire sages. That was really cool. But the rest of the episode was pretty average. I would say another solid A tier, but high end of A tier. Waterbending Scroll. I did like some of the fights that they had. Zuko was very menacing. It was, I would say, a good B tier episode. Jet. I love Jet's art. It's a really good arc. High A tier. Some of the whole Katara and the romance feels a bit but I think it was a really good episode. Yeah. Nah, I'm just gonna. I don't think it quite deserves S tier. Okay. Now for the next episode. The Storm. I really like how it went through Zuko's backstory and like how he got scarred. Honestly, I think we might have our first S tier here. Like, I think it was a really good episode. Yeah. Then we have the Blue Spirit. Another A tier episode. Think I'd put it around there. The Fortune Teller. It was pretty average for Avatar episodes. With the whole like, ooh, manipulating the clouds was kind of like weird. Like, that plot, and also like the romance plot with Aang was kind of weird. But the thing that really saves it is like Aang saving the village at the end. Like, it's pretty cool. But honestly, it's like the low end of C tier. Bato, the Water Tribe. This kind of like felt like a bit of a weird episode. Just like, oh, here's this Bato guy that you haven't heard about. He's like the main character now. Low end of C tier also. It was The Deserter, where we get introduced to Zhang Zhang. Pretty good. But I feel like a pretty average, like average, like mid C tier. Then the Northern Air Temple. Like the thing about it is like it was cool, but like the thing where they're destroying the Northern Air Temple and just like, oh, look out, and like honestly it felt unrealistic, which I know is like it's a fantasy series. Wow, fantasy series are unrealistic. But I don't know, it just felt like weird. I think I'm gonna also chuck it in C tier, the lower end of C tier. Yeah, I didn't give Bato enough credit. I'm gonna put it a bit higher. Waterbending Master? High B tier. It was a pretty good episode. Like how they explored like the whole like, Paku being sexist. I don't think I've ever said I like someone being sexist, but here I am. I mean, I also like Sokka being sexist in the Warriors of Kyrie, but yeah, pretty good episode. Siege of the North Part 1. I think it was pretty like average A tier, like high B tier. I don't think it was like it's not exactly standing out. I feel like the Siege of the North Part 2 was a bit more like stand out and one you really think of when you're like thinking through the episode. So I'm gonna say Siege of the North Part 2. Do I dare give it S tier? Because that like Aang merging with a fish was pretty cool. You know what? I'm gonna give it S tier because of Fish Aang. Then we have the Avatar State. This one was like the power scaling on this one felt weird. Like, oh, this guy can literally sink someone into the ground, and like, sure, it might be an advanced technique, and that's not why it's not happening. But this guy can like sink someone into the ground, and it didn't even look like he was having that much trouble, and he was like pushing them down into the ground, and he was like doing it slowly. Like he could probably do that faster and like do a Jianzu and Zulu Pass, if you know what I mean, and just like kill them, like kill so many. It's just like honestly, it's pretty like I'm gonna say low B tier. If it didn't have that power scaling problem, it would probably be more high B tier, but like the power scaling in this episode got like thrown out of whack a bit, I feel like. The Cave of Two Lovers, then I would say, it was a pretty funny episode. I think it had really good humor, and also, I think good music, low end of A tier. I just love the hippies being like high. Like honestly, I'm glad they only had like one episode. Like if they had it for longer than one episode, probably would have gotten annoying. But I think they didn't overstay their welcome. And I really liked it. Yeah. Return to Amashu, where like, yeah, they take over Amashu. The whole like Boomy neutral Jing shit is like kind of weird, and it's like, oh, I'm practicing neutral Jing, and it's like, oh, like with that much power, like yes, like he did it during the eclipse, but there weren't like that many like benders in the city that like we saw. Like there weren't that many Fire Nation soldiers, and like the people were still like there. Like he could have honestly like stopped them. Like Boomy's like a maniac. He probably even has like seismic sense. So honestly, I like the episode, but the whole like neutral Jing didn't really land with me, to be honest. So I'm gonna put it in mid B tier. The swamp, honestly, I really like the swamp. A lot of people, like, I feel like it's just like it gets underrepresented. Like having this whole new culture of waterbenders in the Earth Kingdom, and like it's never really like explored again. But I find it like really cool. It's the whole like vine bending and like bending the water and the plants. Honestly, low A tier. I think they deserve A tier. Avatar Day, this one was kind of weird with all like them eating the unfried dough and like, this is the worst day ever. Little did they know it wasn't actually the worst day ever. But like it's just like, yeah, it's just kind of weird. Honestly, do I dare put it in D tier? I'm gonna put it in D tier. It was weird. Blind Bandit, we got introduced to Toph. A tier, I would say, high A tier. I really liked it. Toph is a great character. I thought it was a really good, like, intro to Toph. I like how they're just, like, when she's, like, holding up the belt, like, we're looking, like, up at Toph, and like she looks so tall, but when she's surrounded by those ladies, we realize she's just like super short. And I like the whole like seismic sense, and it's really cool. Yeah, say A tier. Zuko alone, easy S tier. Honestly, a lot of these Zuko centric episodes, like like we have like 2 Zuko centric episodes in S tier. I mean, Zuko centric episodes are usually pretty good. But yeah, Zuko alone's just great. You can really just like, it's just really great. Just, yeah, I don't need to describe why it's great. You all know that. The chase, high, mid B tier. Didn't exactly like stand out, but it was definitely pretty cool. Like with like, Azula just like clowning on the gang. And like all of them meeting up again. But yeah. Bitterwork. I like, Aang finding out earthbending. Honestly, high B tier. Toph did go a bit hard on Aang, but I mean, it worked in the long run, so I won't, it's just like, the library. To the library! Easily high A tier. I really like the library. Like, the part at the end where, like, the owl spirits, like, has the long neck and it's, like, super scary. I'm like, whoa. I just, like, love them, like, just, like, learning about the day of Black Sun and just, like, the library. I just love the library. It's a really cool episode, and it adds, like, to, like, the lore of the universe so much, and it's just really cool. The desert. Also high A tier. I really like how they explore, like, Aang's emotions and him, like, feeling, like, sad and, like, angry about, about not having Appa, and they, like, make him feel like a real character. That's what I love, just, like, making someone feel like a real character. Honestly, Sokka being high was funny at first, but, it's honestly worn off a bit. It's just like, oh, Sokka's high. Yep. Okay, Serpent's Pass. Like, this serpent thing is kind of like, not really Godzilla, but like kaiju level scale. And it's like, how did something that big even like survive? And like, why is the Serpent's Pass even a thing if like, that's there? Serpent's Pass, I feel like pretty average episode. Yeah. The drill. A tier. Mid A tier. It was a really cool episode. Just like drilling, like this whole like cool drill was like a very big leap in technology, and they talk about like the Colossus, like the whole like giant mechs and Korra, and yes, that was also a very big leap in logic, but like honestly, the drill like was also like a very big technologically like advanced, like a big leap. But it's also partially like I'm glad that they showed like the first parts of the episode how the drill works and grounds it in reality a bit more, but it still feels a bit like out there, which honestly is what's holding me back to getting high A tier. But it was really cool when like he like Aang just goes at the end, like points out he's good luck and just like breaks into the drill and like stops it, and mud splatters everywhere for some reason. Cities of Walls and Secrets. I really like how this one like sets up the stakes for Ba Sing Se not being what it actually seems to be. So I say high B tier. Like the whole thing about like Toph and Katara going like and going into the party and like and like dressing like high society and all that. It was honestly kind of weird. But I really like how they set up the plot of Ba Sing Se not being what it actually looks like. The Tales of Ba Sing Se. This one. This one's hard. Because, like, obviously, if I was just ranking the Tale of Iroh, then it would be high S tier, like S++ tier. But, like, there's also, like, the Tale of Momo and the Tale of Sokka and the Tale of Toph and Katara, and it's, like, I feel like a lot of them really bring it down. Like, the Tale of Zuko was also pretty good. But, like, a lot of people overrate it for Iroh's Tale, which was definitely, like, the best couple of minutes in the whole show. But I really think that it's only, like, mid or, like, high A tier. Like, it's just, like, I feel like a lot of people overrate it, and it is really good, but, like, it's just not as good as most people say it is because of the other, like, tales of Ba Sing Se happening. Then we have Appa's Lost Days. This one's honestly S tier. Just like Appa just being alone and going by himself, and it's just so heartbreaking just seeing Appa in this like state of disarray, and just like I love Appa. As you found out in my past video, Sky Bison are my favorite animal in Avatar. Sorry, floppy fans. But it's just like, yeah, it's just I love Appa and Sky Bison. Lake Laogai, oh, this one was creepy. Like, this one, high B tier. Like, it was very creepy. The whole, like, hello, I am Judy section was like, what the like, what do you mean? Like, they're brainwashing people down here? You can even brainwash people on Avatar? Like, damn. And then we have the Earth King. This one I would say, pretty good. Mid B tier. Then we have the Guru, also pretty good. The whole like chakra thing was kind of weird, honestly. Even though Aang could go into the Avatar state without all the chakras being unlocked, so I'm gonna put like high C tier. Then Crossroads of Destiny. Honestly, I'm gonna put it in S tier. Like all the finales will be in S tier. It's just like the finales are really good. The Awakening. High B tier. Pretty good, bit above average. The Headband. I like how it just like explores like Fire Nation, like culture, but like honestly it didn't stand out that much. Low B tier. Painted Lady, Okay, I mean, Sakka's Master, sorry, I don't know what got into me. I just said an episode that wasn't actually an episode. Sakka's Master, honestly, low S tier, I would say. Like, all the episodes, like, of, like, you know, like, focusing on, like, one character, I feel, like, really hit home. Like, it's just, like, they're good at doing that. The Beach, high C tier. Like, I like the whole thing about, like, Zuko exploring, you know, himself. But, like, the whole beach where, like, Kylie's, like, so hot and, like, they're going to this party and, like, was kind of brought it down. The Avatar and the Fire Lord, high A tier. I really like this one. It just set up, like, the plot, like, really well, and, you know, this whole reason why Sozin wanted to, go and spread, you know, the prosperity of the Fire Nation with the rest of the world. Really liked it. The Runaway, whole, like, Toph being, oh, I'm a runaway, and, like, oh, you know, that's cool that I'm a runaway. Mid B tier. Also, like, it's just, I don't know, it's just, yeah, mid B tier. Puppet Master, ooh, this one's gotta be in S tier. Like, it was really cool. I just love bloodbending. It's just like, I'm a bloodbender. Nightmares and Daydreams, honestly, another one going in D tier. Honestly, this one was, like, weird. And, like, I know some people like it for, like, being, like, kind of zany and, like, showing what Aang feels, but I really didn't like it. Day of Black Sun, Part 1, low A tier. And then Day of Black Sun, Part 2, high A tier. Then we have the Western Air Temple. I like Zuko getting added to the gang. It explores the gang's feeling about Zuko being added a lot. I like how Katara is, like, very against it, but, like, Aang's a lot more accepting and willing. So, yeah, I like that. High A tier, I would say. Then we have, the Firebending Masters. Also, high A tier. I really liked it. The whole, like, you know, the dragons, the original firebenders, which also kind of gets retconned in Chorus, but we don't talk about Korra. No. Boiling Rock Part 1. A lot of people really like this, but honestly, I'm gonna just have to say high C tier. There's so many leaps in logic. Like, how did they get the boiler out? How did Sokka get his uniform? How is Suki crawling up walls? Like, and then the Boiling Rock Part 2, I would say low B tier. I think it's a bit better with the whole, like, fight with, like, and, like, Azula being betrayed. But, like, honestly, the Boiling Rock had a lot of leaps in logic, which put it down a bit. Southern Raiders, oh, definitely S tier. Yeah, this was really cool about, like, Katara and, like, Yanra just being a helpless old man. Ember Island players, I really like the Ember Island players, to be honest. Mid A tier, even above the Tales of Ba Sing Se. Citizen Comet Part 1, this one felt, like, a bit, like, weird, because it was, like, just, like, focusing on, like, I'm Melon Lord, and, like, there's, like, a bunch of stone sculptors being down, and, like, there wasn't much fighting, and other than, like, fake fighting, and it just felt weird. High B tier, I would say, or mid B tier. Sozin Comet Part 2, I love Zuko coming, like, you know, Tyra, and just, like, you know, making up, and just, like, you know, just, like, I hope you can forgive me, and just, like, but I love you, and it's just, like, so mid A tier. Like, there's a lot of, like, plot holes at the end of the series about, like, how fast they're traveling. They're just, like, traveling at light speed between places, somehow faster than usual. That's the whole, like, weird thing. Sozin Comet Part 3 is the best, at just high S tier, like, the top of S tier. like, I just love Zuko's Agni Kai, and Zuko and Azula's Agni Kai, and Azula just being in mental distress. And yes, it wasn't handled the best. It felt too quick, but I still really liked it. Yeah, top of S tier. And then Southern Comet Part 4, I like the whole, like, entering an era of peace and all that, and, like, also high S tier, but not as high as Southern Comet Part 3. So this is my ranking of the Avatar: The Last Airbender, episodes. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.